Hi guys, my name is Kelly Bryant. I'm a starting strength coach at Base Strength in the Bay Area in California. And today I'm going to talk to you about why you should keep a paper logbook, how to set it up, and some of the things you want to log in there other than just your weights. So let's get started. So the first thing I would like to address is why you need a logbook and why I like paper logbooks. So hopefully all of you know and realize the importance of a logbook. If you're not logging your workouts, you're not really training, you're just exercising, you're not going to make nearly as much progress as you could have, and they're just super important. Now, why I like paper logbooks is I really feel that the act of writing your workout down in a book really helps you be more thoughtful and diligent about it. And just helps you keep track of what you're doing far better than a digital copy. Some people really like their spreadsheets and they do really well with that. However, coaching many clients, I found most people do better writing it down. So moving on to what you want to log your workouts into. You definitely want to log your workouts into either a bound journal type of notebook or a composition book like this. Composition books are super cheap and easy to come by, so I highly recommend you use them. What I don't recommend you use is a spiral notebook, and here's why. Spiral notebook, the pages tend to rip out very easily, and these logs are something you could keep for years and years and years. There's potential for 4 or 5 or even more years of training to be in one book. So if your first 6 months ripped out, that would really be a bummer. So now that you know what to use, let's talk about how to set your logbook up. So as you can see, I've opened my book, so I have 2 pages available to me. You're gonna take each page and divide it in half vertically, and then you're going to take each page and divide it into thirds horizontally, as you can see here. This gives you 4 columns, and each column represents a week. Each box within each column represents one workout. This is a very easy way to see your workout and your progress in a way that makes sense. You can see an entire month at a time, and you can see where you get stuck, where you've made progress, and it's just very helpful. So box 1 in each column is going to be day 1 of your week. Box 2 is going to be day 2, and box 3, day 3. So if you work out on Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, day 1 would be Monday, day 2 would be Wednesday, and day 3 would be Friday. But if you happen to work out on Sunday, Tuesday, and Thursday, day 1 would be Sunday, day 2 would be Tuesday, and day 3 would be Thursday. So hopefully that's pretty clear. It all makes sense. No matter what 3 days you end up lifting on, day 1 will always be the first box. Now that you have your logbook all set up, we've got to talk about how you actually write down what you did. So you're always going to want to write your weight, your sets, and your reps like this. Weight times sets times repetitions. This makes it very easy if you happen to miss some reps to change the logging so it makes sense. So you can see here on example 1, I squatted 100 pounds and I was successful for doing it for 3 sets of 5. So I wrote 100 x 3 x 5. But let's say this workout was a little heavier and I actually wasn't successful at making 3 sets of 5. So here I have written 100x5 because I managed to get my first set, and then I write comma 4 and comma 4 because on my last 2 sets I didn't make all 5 repetitions, I only got 4. So this makes it really easy to see how many you got and how many sets you still did. Going down a little further, we have 100 times 5 by 3. So it's very common that sometimes people need to switch from doing 3 sets of 5 to 5 sets of 3. So you definitely can write it 100 by 5 by 3. However, I personally have a very hard time keeping track of that many sets in one workout. Around set 3, I tend to wonder if maybe that was really set 4. I guess it's just wishful thinking. So I, mid-workout, will write down each set as I go. So if it was 100 pounds and I did 3, I would write down 100 x 3, and then when I did 3 again, I would go write it down again. That way I know that I've done all 5 sets. Now that you know how to write your sets, reps, and weights down, let's talk about when you need to log and some other things you might want to put in your logbook. So you need to log every single workout, whether it's a heavy day or a light day or a great day or a horrible day. It's all data that we need to make good decisions about your program. So other than your workout, here's some stuff you might want to put in your logbook. Other workouts that aren't related to lifting. So if you are a cyclist, a swimmer, a runner, a dancer, if you're doing any other significant type of workout, you're going to want to put it in your logbook. It's very important that we know how these other workouts affect your lifting, and we're only going to know that if we know what you're doing, when you're doing it, and how much of it you're doing. Another thing you might want to put in your logbook is any sprain or strain that happens while you're lifting. So, for example, if you happen to tweak your shoulder during a bench press, you're going to want to write that down in your book. Maybe it goes away the next day, maybe we need to make a form adjustment, but it needs to be noted so we know when it started and we know if what we did to fix it or alleviate it actually worked. Another important thing to log is any significant form changes that you happen to do yourself or anything your coach tells you. So if you only meet with your coach once a week and they make a bunch of form changes, it's very important that you write it down in your logbook, not just so you don't forget it, which is very important, but also so we can see how those changes affected your lifts. Maybe you had way too wide of a stance on your deadlifts, and when you narrowed your stance and fixed it, you went up in weight, whereas before you had hit a wall. Another crucial thing to put in your workout is missed workouts. If you miss a workout, I highly recommend you write down why you missed it. If you just missed it for an appointment that conflicted with your schedule or something like that, it's not such a big deal. However, if you happen to miss a workout because you got food poisoning, you fell off your bike and hurt your knee, or you're just hungover, all of these things are likely to affect your next workout, and they're very important to have in your logbook. Some other things that I would consider more optional that you could put in there would be your body weight. If you happen to log your body weight, I would only log this on day 1 of each week. You do not need to put it in there every day. Your warm-up weights, especially if you're new to lifting and you're still kind of unsure how to calculate your warm-ups. There's nothing like writing down every warm-up weight to get you good at calculating your warm-ups. A couple other things you might put in there is how you felt that day. Did you happen to have a cold? Were you sleep deprived because your baby was up all night crying? All of these things that might affect your workout. And then lastly, you could put how any particular lift felt. So if you were squatting 225 and you expected it to feel great, but it felt like shit, you might write in there, felt like shit. So that is the basics of how to keep a logbook, what to put in it, and why it's so important. I hope this was helpful, and have fun lifting.